What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly Sports History for October 30th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. It's a Victory Monday, albeit I'm not really sure what to make of that game. I mean, the fact that they won, they came back and did what they needed to do in the second half. It is Washington. Washington always plays us tough. And then division game. But mistakes again. I mean, this game should have been a blowout. And I think the fact that you let Sam Howell throw for almost 400 yards and kept Washington in it, that's where the issue's coming from. And you can't fumble two times inside the five. I know one looked like it will be credited to Jalen, but looked like it was just a bad snap overall. So I mean, it is what it is. You'll chalk that up, but it should not have been a close game. But Washington always plays. Could it have been a trap game? Could they have been looking ahead a little bit to Dallas next week? I don't know. AJ got that record. Mega John himself, 6 straight games with 125 yards. He's incredible. Very, very just. I mean, he's just a beast. So he looks to keep that up next week against Dallas. I am concerned with the Jalen Hurts injury. He says it's not a big deal, but you can see it. Like he's limping, but I mean then he had a hell of a game. So I don't know if it's I don't know what to think. But overall, a win. We covered our bet. We moved to 6-4. If we would have, game was easily and over. If we would have taken the side, we would have ended up pushing. But overall, I mean, you take a win to bar Andy Reid's line. Anytime you can get a win in the National Football League, it's a big thing. They didn't defense. I mean, good teams like the offense will pick up the defense. Defense will pick up the offense times. So, not a good defensive game. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what to make. The fact that Sam Howell looks good against nobody except for the Eagles and the Bears is it's interesting to say the least. But 7-1 is 7-1, and they looked huge game now against Dallas. They have basically right now basically a 1-game lead, I think, over Detroit and the Cowboys right now for that number 1 seed. It's a 2-game lead over the 49ers, who looked bad again and lost. So big game heading into the bye. We're at that point in the schedule where we talked about it, the so-called gauntlet. So let's see what we can do over the next 5 games. At least they built themselves up a nice little cushion to be 7-1. But I'll take it. I'm anxious to see too. The trade deadline is tomorrow. If Howie has any more moves up his sleeve. But again, like it's just one of those games. Like I expected them to win. I kind of thought it would be close, and since it was, it's an uneasy feeling on this win. And maybe it's just me. Let me know what you think. That won't be the question of the day, but just let me know. Am I right to feel uneasy about this win? Just there's a lot of good things to take away, but I'm just like, I don't know. Yesterday's question of the day, everybody picked the Eagles to score in the 30s, believe it or not, and everybody had it at least an 8-9 point win. So we'll take the side, we'll take the win, 7-1, but it's kind of an uneasy 7-1. So let me know what you think. While you're at it, go to phillygoat.com, get your Eagle shirts. Sixers looked good again last night. Flyers, gear up for the Union's playoff run. Whatever you need, they have you covered when it comes to Philadelphia sports apparel. Just go check out. They got the sizes, the color, anything you need. They have great working with them. They have always coming out with new stuff as well. So phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery, 10% off of your order. phillygoat.com. All right, speaking of the Sixers, good, solid win. They played Portland, who's terrible, but 126-98, they did what they should do, which in the past under Doc Rivers was something that they didn't necessarily do all the time. So we'll take that. Joe had 35. Tyrese played another good game. And Toby's getting his in Nick Nurse's system. And, I mean, anything you get out of him this year, I think, is a bonus. Harden is back practicing with the team. I suspect that he's probably going to play Thursday night when they take on, I think they play Toronto Thursday night down at the Wells Fargo Center. Should be interesting to see how the week plays out, because I'm sure that now will be the big story leading into that game. But another good win for the Sixers. Did what they had to do, again, which is something that they didn't always do with Doc Rivers as the coach. So we'll take it. And like I said, I like the way this whole system is playing out. Yes, it's 3 games in, but I like what I'm seeing so far. Flyers in action tonight against the Hurricanes. Ron Brind'Amour is coming back home. Always fun when he comes back. But the Hurricanes are a good team, so this will be another good test for this Flyers team. Just, again, looking for them to play hard and not make mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, if you have kids, you know that the kids aren't the mistakes, but they make mistakes in the back of your car. And trash everywhere. I talked to you yesterday about the Pop-Tart wrapper. I'm floored at where that came from. And, like, the trash just keeps coming. That's where CarCan comes in. Go to carcan.com. It fits right on the back of your seat. Gives them a place to put their trash. Get 2 of them, one for trash, one for storage. Going on a long trip, use it as a cooler. Makes a great gift. And if you don't have kids or don't have the trash issue, but you need a little organization in your life, they have all types of organizational tools to help organize your car, for the trunk or for the front seat. Whatever you need, they got. Go to carcan.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery, 20 off for 20% off of your order. That's carcan.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery, 20 off. And again, buy it for everybody in the office. It's a great thing. All right, today we're going to stick with an Eagles theme and go back to 1983. And on this day, back in 1983, the Eagles lost to the Baltimore Colts in their last game ever against the Eagles before moving to Indianapolis. Final score was 22-21. Ron Jaworski threw for 160 yards and a touchdown. Carmichael caught a touchdown and threw one to Mike Quick. Not every day you see that. But Raul Allegre kicked the 30-yard field goal with just over 2 minutes left to give the Colts the victory. The Colts then moved to Indy for the 1984 season. We know that. Now, this 1983 Eagles team, they started off 4-2. This game against the Colts was their third of 7 straight losses. And honestly, they would only win one more game. They went 5-11. And 4-2 is not like a super big number to fall back from, but it is kind of Rich Kotite-esque from the 1994 team that went 7-2 and lost the rest of their games. But the Eagles all-time against the Baltimore Colts were 5-4, kind of an old NFL rivalry. They now are 8-6-1 all-time against the Baltimore franchise. That includes the Colts and the Ravens. But on this day, back in 1983, it was the Eagles playing the Baltimore Colts for the last time as the Baltimore Colts. Once they moved to Indy, the Colts have kind of owned the Eagles. A lot of that was Peyton Manning just being just outstanding against the Eagles. But on this day, 22-21, the Colts beat the Eagles playing in Baltimore for the last season. They would go to Indy that offseason. All right, we are slowly getting closer and closer, less than a week from the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. If you need more information about tickets, go to philadelphiasportshalloffame.org. They give you the information you need for this year's induction class, as well as the 20 for 20 they're doing. More information on the other inductees or just how to visit the hall or how you can help, go to phillyhall.org. Today, we're going to look at some of the non-human inductees into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. Not a big list, but the Blue Horizon got in, boxing venue, only a 1,300 seat. I never realized it was that small. 1,300 seat venue for boxing. It was prominent in Rocky V. But just a very historical, just a lot of Philadelphia fighters got their start in the Blue Horizon. The Army Navy game, which is a Philly staple, first weekend. I think it now is, they moved it back because of the conference playoffs and everything, but usually the first or second weekend in December. Just one of my favorite games to watch every year. It's one of those things, it doesn't matter how good or bad the teams are, they always play well. It does go to other cities every now and then, but it's really like a Philadelphia thing. The Legacy Youth and Tennis Legacy I'll get it out. Legacy Youth Tennis and Education. The Arthur Ashe Center down there in East Falls does a lot of good for the community, teaching tennis, teaching life skills, giving kids that ordinarily wouldn't have a shot to play tennis a chance to do something productive and learn the tennis game. So shout out to them. The Penn Relays, which is the oldest and largest track and field competition, features high school, college, and professional athletes. Always a good time to go down to Franklin Field to watch the Penn Relays. The Lighthouse Boys Soccer Club, they were founded in 1897, and they were the dominant U.S. soccer club into the 20th century. Did a lot to help grow the game and kind of introduce the game to people that would not otherwise have been able to play. Still one of those things that soccer needs to grow more in the United States. Finally, the Palestra. What can you say about the Palestra? Just a historical, the Big Five, opened in 1927, but Penn played there, Temple played there, St. Joe's, all the Big Five games. Just a great venue. Lots of good high school games have been played there. I've ripped sometimes the old heads that really hang on to the Big Five, but I will say there's something really cool about that building. And then I had a list of things that I think maybe at one point might get in. I know the First Tee program for golf is big in this city, but that's more of like a national thing. Maybe Citizens Bank Park. Right, like I don't know what the criteria would be, whether it has to be in for a certain amount of years or up. Maybe the Spectrum, Franklin Field. But let me know what you think. What other non-human organizations or venues or what should get into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame? That is our question of the day. Let me know what you think. Should any of these teams be in, or any of these venues or organizations? Maybe I'm missing something, but let me know. Hit me up on the social medias and all of that stuff. On this day, back in 1983, the Eagles lost to the Colts 22-21. The last time they played them as the Baltimore Colts. Flyers in action tonight. Good win for the Sixers. It is Dallas week. And again, I'm just not... I'm uneasy heading into it. So help me out here. Let me know. Am I just being a typical Negadelphia fan? Or is there cause for concern? But this has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Monday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.